What's up, everyone? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined today by Matt Moreno. Matt, we are recording this on Monday afternoon. Corey Seager is gone. Max Scherzer is gone. And in case the day couldn't have gotten any worse, Max Muncy appeared on MLB Network this morning and broke some news about his elbow injury on the final day of the regular season that is not exactly good news for Dodger fans. Walk us through what he said and what this might mean moving forward.
Yeah, so Max joined Alana Rizzo, of course, formerly of Sports in LA, on High Heat. And, you thought the interview would kind of be typical off-season stuff, how free agency maybe, how are things going, this and that. Alana begins by asking Max about his health and recovery from what had been publicly disclosed as a dislocated elbow, left elbow. And Muncy says, it's progressing a little bit slower than he thought or would have liked, but that's to be expected when you have a torn UCL. Now, that was news to everybody. The Dodgers had never revealed that. Muncy had never disclosed that. The only thing, they were very secretive about his injury throughout the entire postseason. Muncy's kind of first interview after it was for the wild card game workout, and he said that was when he revealed that his elbow was dislocated as part of the collision. He also said, quote, there was other damage in there. He said he was still going to be optimistic and hopeful of returning had the Dodgers continued to advance. And he also said that the situation could have been worse than what it was. So now, kind of hearing he has a torn UCL, of course, he's not a pitcher, so it's not maybe the end-all be-all. I'm curious to know, what would a worse injury have been?
It's crazy that we were optimistic that he potentially could come back at some point in the postseason when you have a torn UCL. Now, the good news is it's in his non-throwing arm, which, I mean, again, as a first baseman, isn't the end of the world. But there are some scenarios with Seager gone where Muncy could end up at second base, and so his throwing arm becomes far more significant if he's playing a position other than first base. Obviously, to swing a baseball bat involves both elbows. So this is pretty big news for the Dodgers. A torn UCL, again, like you've kind of hinted at, he has, it appears, not chosen surgery, which when you tear your UCL, there is a surgical option and a non-surgical option. For a non-pitcher, the non-surgical option tends to make the most sense. But the bigger question now is, well, what does this mean? I mean, we're talking about spring training being like 2 or 3 months away. We're talking about opening day being 4.5 months away. So from your perspective, I mean, was there any sense of, when he says it's progressing slower, is there fear that opening day might not be a realistic target? I mean, it was the very last day of the regular season that this injury happened. So it hasn't, not that much time has passed.
He didn't say one way or the other. He did kind of wrap up his answer with, at least it's the off season type thing, so there is time. Andrew Friedman was asked about various injuries, a general question at his press conference last month, and he said, with Turner, Muncy, and Kershaw, it is what it is. It's just about rehab. So there doesn't seem to be much concern. Like more than anything, I think it was just like, the way if anybody happened to catch the interview, Max was just so nonchalant about, when you have a torn UCL, this is kind of just what it is.
Yeah, which is hilarious because in his world, he probably has had 100 conversations about his torn UCL. And so with doctors, with trainers, with Andrew Friedman, with Dave Roberts, with teammates, the whole deal. It's like that moment where he doesn't realize that nobody else knows. Like, oh my gosh, you haven't heard about this? Oh yeah, I tore my UCL.
Yeah.
What a bizarre thing. So definitely a story to monitor. And again, obviously there's multiple layers. On one layer is, will he be ready for opening day? But I think the second layer that's more interesting is there are free agent scenarios out there where Max Muncy, as I said, might not be the everyday first baseman for the Dodgers. If they were to go after a Freddie Freeman type person, if they were to go after a Chris Bryant who might be spelling Cody Bellinger in center field occasionally, and Bellinger might be spelling Muncy, and there's scenarios in which Max Muncy is playing a little bit more second base or a lot more second base, and having a torn UCL in your in one of your arms becomes a problem. So again, on top of that, whether you're hitting the ball, that's going to be a factor as well. So something to monitor. We don't have a ton of information other than that this is out there now, and we'll see what happens. So let us know in the comments below. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of lack of information that we have right now, but I'm sure more information will creep out as the days and weeks come along as we head towards spring training. So that's Matt Moreno. My name's Jeff Spiegel. As always, check us out, DodgerBlue.com, DodgerBlue1958 on social media. Ring the notification bell here as well for all the breaking news. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you soon.